Looks like I'm live. Hey, Gym Nation, how are you? How are you? We are here tonight because it is time for us to catch up on the breaking news, the current events, the warp speed that we are in the midst of. And yeah, I wanted to try to do this more consistently where we just touch on the top topics as it relates to what's going on in this country, specifically how it relates to us. And oh, do I have my breaking news background or what a week background? I haven't done it in a while. Let's see. But I do want us to again just catch up on some of the key topics. There are so many. It was hard to dwindle this list down. But we are going to come back on Monday talking about connecting the dots. Today, we'll just go over some of the top news stories. There have been many. And then on Monday, we will go over connecting the dots. So I wanted to see, did I get rid of might have got rid of my, what a week background looks like I have. So, okay, let's go ahead and pull up let me see who's in the building. Let me introduce myself. Hey, everyone, what's up? I am Kim, AKA Kim with the Gems on this channel. We talk all things related to money, wellness, and travel from a cultural perspective, from a Black woman's point of view. And with everything going on in the world today, we need more of this because it's a lot going on. And we predicted it. We knew it was coming, and there's a lot more to come. And so again, I'm gonna say hi to some people. And I'm so upset I don't have my little newspaper background. So StreamYard flipped over to some new owners and some things went wonky. And so I had to clear out some things, and that might have just been one of the things that I cleared out. That's interesting. So let's go ahead and see who's in the building. Hey, Shalonda, good to see you, girl. Hi, Deborah Howard. Nice for joining. Good to see you. Hey, Jackie. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Buenos noches. I am muy jealoso. It is literally like 20 degrees, well, with the wind chill factor, and the wind is winning. You may hear it. It is like 20 degrees below zero here in the great state, New York. And there's no end in sight. Well, at least not till Tuesday, I believe it is. So I am very jealous, but happy for you. Hola, Christine. ¿Cómo estás, Miss Moderator? I don't even know if that's a word. Hey, Juanita. Good to see you. Yeah, the news has been newsing, y'all. And I really, sometimes, oh, hi, Miss P. Good to see you. You done changed, added some added some it looks like numbers to your tag. Good to see you. I'm so happy that you're back with us. Yes, the news has been newsing. And so I do want to pull up some articles and just, go through them. Let me see, where should we start? Let's just start asking a question. Like, is there anything that has shocked you in 2026? We're only 5 full weeks in, and I'm just curious to know, well, 6 full weeks. Has there been anything that has shocked you this year so far? Let's start off light. Listen, could you even imagine living in a world where first ladies are being pitted against each other? Like, could you imagine living in a world where one first lady comes out with a documentary and another first lady who had a documentary has a whole separate stan club who has pushed that documentary, we'll say, to number one, but Netflix is in the midst of trying to acquire what is it, Warner Brothers. And so, they've been acting funny with, the rankings, but could you imagine living in, would that have been on your bank bingo card? If you were a betting woman, what, if someone told you in 2026, 15 years ago that this is what we'd be doing, I know I wouldn't have taken that bet. So, if you haven't heard, last week, well, last weekend, when a certain documentary came out about the current person married to 47, um, there was a push to drive Becoming by former first lady, forever first lady, Michelle Obama's documentary Becoming to number one, and it was working, y'all. It was working. The peoples was out in full force, watching, rewatching, so much so. I forgot how many years this documentary came out, but it's been some time. They pushed it into the top 10, only for Monday to come around, and uh the powers that be had it moved to to the children's list. They moved it to the children's list. And people were calling and, giving Netflix the business. I believe they said it's back on most people's homepage, but it's out of the top ranking, whatever it is. The fact that, we have a whole corporation who is now being told what can be ranked number one and what can't is bananas to me. Absolutely bananas. And I thought that was, we'll start off a little light because it does get, we are going to get deeper. But yeah, that was absolutely unbelievable. Another thing I quickly wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it the last time I was on live, which was a couple days ago, and it's so ironic, how the universe truly, truly speaks to you. I had mentioned about a conversation I had with someone who, I'm close to. I call her family. A young lady in her 90s who was talking about how, churches used to be the place where we got our information when there were snowstorms. Now she lives in South Carolina, and they got hit, abnormally hard. And we were just talking about like how the churches were closed, all of them. And so we were talking about I mentioned about, I'm not loving the silence that is happening with these pastors about planning and preparation, right? And it's just so happens that, the algorithms do what they do. And I think it was like the next day I got tagged with this article, which I'm going to share right now. And we're going to take a quick look at it. I see some comments came in, and I'll get to those in a second. But, oh goodness. I don't know if you saw this article, but The Root came out with this article on February 4th, and it's entitled "Kirk Franklin Calls Out Churches' Silence Over ICE and Makes Surprising Claims About Jesus." Now, we're not going to go over the entire article, but there was a point in here that I wanted to quickly read. If you notice, there haven't been too many gospel singers or church leaders getting involved or even sharing their 2 cents about ICE and the fact that they're wreaking havoc nationwide. And for Franklin, enough is clearly enough. He spoke at the Grammys, and he said, he shared that the church ought to be more intentional about saying something, and that they should be putting their hands to work and caring for others, since the government doesn't look to be doing so. Again, this is on theroot.com. It came out February 4th. You can read the entire article at your leisure. Oh, did I not share it? I didn't share it, but this is the article. came out February 4th, 2026, and this is the part that I was reading. And it's I think like the second paragraph. But he's right, and it's just sad that there is really no collective right now. There is no, and I won't say no collective. I'm talking from what I see in the Christian faith. I don't know what other denominations are doing. I don't know if the Nation of Islam has something going on. I don't know. I'm just speaking of, you know, what I'm involved with, and that is Christian churches. And so I'm not seeing that. And it's very disheartening. And it speaks volumes. And we'll talk more about the volumes um, when Monday when we start to connect the dots. Let's see what y'all are saying. Y'all aren't surprised. There are pictures of who over there, Christine? Miss P says she's not surprised about the event, surprised about the speed of the attacks against. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You know what? The fact that, they gave him permission to say anything is shocking. He knew it was real. Now, I do have my thoughts about who put that together. But the point is, it should have been denounced immediately, and it was disgusting. The church isn't about the people anymore. It's about these pastors and their inflated egos. Many are. Many, many are. And I do believe, let me see how I could say this in a pig Latin type of way. Um, I think some of them are scared. Some of them have been threatened. Some of them, their faith isn't as great as they like to preach it to be. And so they are fearful for their own safety, their family safety, and things like that. Does that make it right? Absolutely not. And I truly believe that if we were to challenge them, right? I think that needs to happen first instead of blindly following them. Then either they would have to, ish or get off the pot is, that saying. They would have to either make a move, start making moves, or move over so somebody who knows how to organize, keep their community safe can, come to uh come to be. Um Let me see what y'all are saying. Church isn't about the people, it's about their inflated egos. Yes, these pastors fear the people more than they fear God. You know something? That's exactly what, I was thinking. A lot have turned this into celebrityism. It's not as genuine or authentic as it used to be. And we need to challenge them. The only Black pastor that speaks out is Jamal Harris Bryant. Well, he's definitely more of an organizer, when it comes to certain things. Now, I will say I wish, because I know, members of his church, there was more secret meetings. And when I say secret meetings of the masses, not secret meetings with the Kappa Alpha Psi community who's part of it. I'm talking about for the masses on how to prepare and stay safe. And I do believe, he loves his celebrityism too. Now, do I believe he's a man of the word? Absolutely. I do. I 100% do. And he's not perfect and he's not flawless, but he definitely believes in a higher power. And he also loves his people. But I just need a little bit more serious organizing. And I guess, that's how well, I will say this. There may be a real good reason for that. There may be a really good reason for that. Um, yeah, and I'll leave it at that. Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to say, but I gotta, you know, pick the right time. So when we start connecting the dots, um, I'll see how I can say some things without saying some things. YouTube have you talking in riddles, boy. But let's go on to the next topic, and then let me see what you think about that. So, some of you saw the thumbnail, and the thumbnail, let me first acknowledge Miss Massey, who was able to see some justice from the person who unalived her. And person, I'm using that term loosely, the animal that unalived her, who was sentenced to 20 years, I believe it was. Oh, and happy birthday in heaven, Sandra Bland. Her birthday, I believe, is today, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, there was justice. For now, there was justice in that case, and that just occurred within the past week, I want to say. So I wanted to acknowledge her. I wanted to acknowledge Sandra Bland. And I also, again, want to acknowledge Trayvon Martin, whose birthday just passed on February 5th. Yes. And acknowledge again the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. But moving on. So I wanted to acknowledge her. She's on the thumbnail. That is why. We're going to save the Obamas for last because, whoo, child. That's all I'll say about that right now. Whoo, child. Next, we're going to talk about, there are so many potential, well, let's talk about Nike. We'll talk about Nike first. There's so many things. I don't know if you've heard about the feds putting pressure on Nike because of DEI. This is absolutely insane. But we'll talk about it. So let's just pull this article up real quick. Let me remember to share it with y'all. And if you're just coming in, we're back at What a Week. And we're talking about some of the top breaking news stories that have occurred in the past week that are affecting our community. And one of them was this story. Nike faces federal probe over allegations of discrimination against white workers. They're going hard. So the Federal Agency for Protecting Workers' Civil Rights revealed Wednesday that it is investigating sportswear giant Nike for allegedly discriminating against white employees through its diversity policies. Nike tends to support quite a few Black organizations, scholarships, helps to fund tons of students of color through higher education. There's so much give back that Nike does, and a lot has to do with how much they know we give to them, that it's not, the admin is not happy about that. And I hope I'm sharing this. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, the admin is not happy about that. So the EEOC, if y'all remember, a year ago plus, we started talking about the changes that were going to be coming to the EEOC, and they would not be in our favor. The EEOC disclosed the investigation in a motion filed in Missouri federal court demanding that Nike fully comply with the subpoena for information. The EEOC sought the company's criteria for selecting employees for layoffs, how it tracks excuse me, how it tracks and uses workers' race and ethnicity data and information about programs which allegedly provide race restricted mentoring, leadership, or career development opportunities, according to court documents. Well, Nike responded, and I'm sure it wasn't a surprise to them. Oh gosh, come on. Okay, we're gonna stop this. We're gonna stop this. It wasn't a surprise to them, but they're coming after, and we talked about the companies that they're, leaning on to comply. And if they don't comply, you can bet your bottom dollar there will be lawsuits. They will be hemmed up in court for years. Federal approvals that they may need will probably not get signed off on. And this is just another item on their list that they have, laid out in Project 2025. So when we meet on Monday, we're going to do more connecting of the dots. You know what? I'll save that for later I'll save that for later. But we're going to connect all of these dots so that it makes a lot of sense. I also want to connect the dots of, how we should be preparing and how others are preparing domestically, internationally. I mean, I have lots of resources from people who are just on social media sharing their experiences and how they're preparing. And these are people that I value their opinion. And so let's go ahead and any of y'all watching the Super Bowl? I haven't watched NFL since Colin Kaepernick, but I know some people are watching to support Bad Bunny. And if the first time, quick Bad Bunny story. First time I heard Bad Bunny or knew who Bad Bunny was in Mexico the year 2022. I was in Playa del Carmen. And when I tell you, I thought it was a Mexican artist. The way they were pumping his music, and they loved everything about him. Oh my goodness. Then I come back to New York and I'm talking to someone. I have a really good friend. She's Dominican. Well, her lineage is from the Dominican Republic. And she was, playing this song, and I'm like, who's that? And she's like, Bad Bunny. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I heard him in Mexico. I didn't realize you liked Mexican music or something. And she was like, Kim, he ain't from Mexico. I said, oh, he's Dominican. She was like, no. He's Puerto Rican. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And the reason why I say that, if you know anything about, just similar to how we are so fragmented as a people, Spanish people are the same. So there's some hate going on from one culture to the next. So Cubans may not like Dominicans, who may not like Mexicans, who may not like Panamanians. So there's a lot of segmentation going on. And so for this man to have bridged the gap, and that's what I'm going to call it, between people in Mexico and people in Dominican Republic and so many other Latin countries, when he himself is, Puerto Rican American, it's just fascinating to me. So I'm wishing him all the best. I don't know if I'll be watching, but I'm wishing him all the best. I'll definitely watch on YouTube. So let me go ahead and get to the next topic. So I'm gonna check to see if y'all are watching in a second. I can't see your comments just yet. So getting to the next article. I definitely wanted to talk about which one will I do first? Let's talk about this man right here since we just talked about another boycott, so to speak, or not boycott, but a um, DEI situation. Let's go ahead and share what Muskie Dusky is doing. So there is a movie coming out with Lupita Nyong'o called Odyssey. Your boy Muskie Dusky is so upset. Oh, okay. Now let me share. He's calling for a boycott of this movie, and we're going to read a little bit about it. I don't know if you've heard about it, but this man threatens boycott of the Odyssey after Black actress chosen as world's most beautiful woman. And so I don't even know who decided that Helen of Troy is the most beautiful woman, but that's what this movie is about. And it has a whole star-studded cast. It is including Zendaya, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, and Lupita is supposed to play the Trojan Beauty. It says her appearance hasn't been confirmed, but already the head of Doge has plenty to say about a dark-skinned woman potentially playing the world's most beautiful woman. He took to X saying Helen of Troy was fair-skinned, blonde, and the face that launched 1,000 ships because she was so beautiful that men started a war over her. He continued that casting choices that make the premise incoherent are admissions that the story was never the point and an insult to the author. Child, go sit down someplace. So he's threatening a boycott. Y'all can go ahead and read this if you want to. And this, I like this comment. Helen of Troy is a mythical figure. She can be played by anyone. Her race is unimportant to the narrative. Diane Kruger, not Greek either. Lupita Nyong'o hasn't even been confirmed for the role, but she's one of our most beautiful actresses. Don't be a stupid racist grifter. Oh my gosh, that is such a stunning picture right there. I don't think I saw that. Or maybe I didn't zoom in. Very beautiful picture. So yeah, so listen, there's a reason why I'm saving the Obamas for last. So give me a second to get that. There's a couple more stories I want to get through. But this is the world we're living in, y'all. This is the world we're living in. And we have someone from a whole nother country coming over here trying to dictate our rules still in every aspect. When you think about it, you have Dr. Oz, who comes from Turkey. Well, his parents come from Turkey, where, oh my gosh. So that's the other story. I don't even have this on the list, but he's trying to increase the retirement age. He is trying to increase the retirement age. The reasons he's given is all BS. We follow the money and you know what it's really about. But do you know that the retirement age for Turkey was like 50 years old for the longest? It was like something crazy young. And when I say crazy young compared to our age, and I think it might have just went up to, let me see, retirement age for Turkey. What is this, 2026? No, I said 2026. So the retirement age for Turkey is in general So technically you have to work for 20 years or 25 years. There's no age limit for retirement if they meet the required 20 years for women and 25 years for men of service and premium days. The retirement age is generally 58 for women, but again, it's based on how many years you put in, and 60 for men. But he want to come over here and tell us that we need to be damn near 85 years old, and that's an exaggeration. Let me see. Dr. Oz retirement age in the US. Okay, yeah. He wants us to start working earlier, right out of high school, or retiring a year later would do more to then remove the national debt. That's what it was. He wants us to work longer to remove the national debt. It will save on healthcare. He says he believes. Let me see. Can I share this real quick? I'll share this. It's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. You're coming. Go back to your country and take that over there. You know, I'm sounding a little like I don't like sounding, but you coming over here. Anyway, he believes a healthier America isn't just about living longer, it's about working longer too. Speaking at a WH press event last month, and again during a lunch for mental health initiative this week, this was dated on February 4th, this man says a better health could mean huge economic gains for the country. And by better health, he means he's advocating for working more and working longer in this country. We should move to Turkey, y'all. How about that? Well, it may be too late for some of us. Ain't nobody trying to start from scratch. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. So there's two more stories, and I'll get to, let me see what y'all are saying right now. There's two more stories. Well, one, and then the Obamas we're going to get to. Hola, ¿cómo estás, LJ? Did you say reefers? I haven't heard that in so long. Yes, he definitely is looking for another stream of income. The tides ain't tithing, child. The tides ain't tithing. You said you had to leave Nike alone after learning its name came after a Greek goddess. Hey, Veronica, child, let me tell you, if that was the case, I wouldn't be speaking to half of my family who are all divine nine. More than half. I get what you're saying. I don't know. That's not a deal breaker for me. Yeah. I know too much about the company because they used to, in my life, my career, they were very, very supportive of our communities. Extremely, extremely, extremely supportive of Black and Brown communities. They were global. They're global, and they understood that. You know, they don't just make money here in the U.S. They make money all over the world, and they have a presence all over the world. And they, to me, were responsible companies from what I knew about them. And so, yeah, I haven't researched into them lately, but I have respect for them based on what I know. But listen, everybody got to do what makes them, you know, comfortable. It is increasingly becoming more and more uncomfortable for U.S. companies to conduct business in the U.S. That relocating overseas may be tempting. Listen, Miss P. I will say, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Oh, and before I forget, whoever's here, I'm just gonna put this because I will forget. I'm gonna put this QR code. I'm hosting a free webinar on Wednesday evening for anyone who wants to attend, can attend, to go over in more detail. I've gotten emails and messages about the Rain Society and different ways if you're not interested in, the full package. So I am hosting a webinar. It's complimentary. You could come and ask questions. I'm going to break everything down. You can start registering now. Where is the I did a download. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm trying to find the QR code. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to leave the QR code. Uh-oh, no, I don't want it that big. Hold on. Okay. Uh-oh. No. Okay, I'll just leave it there for now because by the time I figure out how to make it smaller, it'll be 12 o'clock. But yeah, again, this is, and if you don't want to screenshot it, it's, there's a bit.ly code, it's bit.ly/Rain Black History Month. Because we just opened it, membership back up for Black History Month. So it's Rain, no, it's bit.ly. Again, this is a free, I think this is, the webinar is definitely the screenshot if you do the QR code to register. Bit.ly/ I think it's Rain Black History Month for the webinar as well. No, that may not be it. But anyway, one of them, the QR code is definitely to register for the webinar. I'm not sure. Let's just check it out. But yeah, I agree with you. Rain Black History Month. Let me just make sure that's where it's taken. Yeah, no. So that's to register for Rain. So what the link that I put in the chat, that's if you want to just sign up for the Rain membership community. The QR code is if you want to join the free webinar taking place Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, but back to what you were saying about reload. You just prompted me thinking about that because in 2026, I'm definitely ramping up conversations around that. And I'm also, not just focusing on residency in other places, but there's some other communities that can be tapped into in other places that can help you. And I don't just mean Black communities. So that's what I'm saying. It's not all, we have allies in this world too. And I believe in allyship. So we're going to go real. Yeah, there's more to come on that. But back to the business situation. Oh yeah, he's coming after them all. And I know what it's going to have to take for people to do an about face and fight back the admin. But I don't know if we as a collective, we as a people, we as a majority, because the majority of this world did not vote for this man, or the majority of this country did not vote for this man. It was the majority of the voters. There's a whole nother 1/3. Like it was 1/3 voted for him, just under 1/3 that didn't, and a whole 1/3 that sat there behind home. So again, saying all that to say, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of power that we just have to be organized and use, which is why I'm upset about the lack of organization from some of the mega churches and even, the not so mega churches that I'm not hearing about. When you said, this is one example, during the storm in the South, there was a church that basically made sure they they had service Friday, child. They had service Friday. Get that money, honey, because they knew the storm was coming, but you couldn't find them on Sunday. So Anyway, let's go to the last, I think it's one story. Um, okay. So we talked about Nike, we talked about the movie The Odyssey, we talked about um oh, two more stories, sorry. Forgot to talk about the purging of more federal government jobs if you don't take the oath. If you do not, oh gosh, I have another story, child. If you do not put your hand on a Bible and say you pledge your allegiance to the man in the White House, um, and so supposedly he just signed something in order. And let me just get that real quick. Federal cut if you okay. So there is actually a there is actually, I'm trying to find the exact article. Here it is. So basically, federal workers will be placed on leave by Trump. And it's because they are not willing to say that they, well, I'm sure even if they said it, they wouldn't believe them. But if they are not saying that they fall in line with what his agenda is. We all know what that agenda is, right? We all know what that agenda is. And so, and the sad thing is, it's like nobody's there to fight, right? There's nobody there fighting or being able to stop this. And it's like, I sound like a broken record, but this is something that I wish more of us were talking about this, even before I started talking about it. But I was so shocked, and I kept saying it in videos, that I am so shocked that we are not hearing this from more powerful people, being like, get your papers, get your, whatever it was, prepare, have a plan, stay ready, have your to go bag. I'm hearing a lot more of it now, but it's just so frustrating that, now the distraction, now here we are with the files. That's the other image I had on that. I'm not even giving that any type of energy. But yeah, the distraction with the files, the distraction with what has been consuming your television screen the past couple of days. Now they're bringing up Michael Jackson movie. Now they're bringing up R. Kelly story again. They are masters at knowing how to distract us, and we continuously fall for the okey doke. When my third eye just opened wide up was right before, well, when they had announced that they were coming out with a majority Black cast soap opera. And I can't remember when this was, but as soon as I heard the news, I was like, in 2025, y'all really coming out with a new soap opera in 2025 that features a majority Black only cast on broadcast, regular broadcast TV? It's all about attention. They understand the importance of attention. I think they call attention the new gold rush, right? And so, again, he knows exactly how to have us looking over here while they're over here doing whatever it is they want to do to us. And we're going to wake up one day and be like, what, where, what? which leads me to another news story. And then I know I keep saying the next news story is about um, what is happening. Oh my gosh, in Minnesota that the news should be covering, but it's not. And this, I'm not talking about them just, you know, being disrespectful and snatching people up. There are deportation flights that are leaving multiple times a day. And there is a gentleman filming it. There is a gentleman filming because he could see the airport. Um, he can see the airport. I want you to see this article too. I don't know how to put all this together, but let's just go ahead. Share. This gentleman, let's, keep him in our prayers because they don't like this child. They do not like this being exposed. Oh, it's not allowing me. Have to remove it. Okay, now add. Okay, there we go. Minneapolis, this was from yesterday. Minneapolis now has daily deportation flights. One man has been documenting them. Now, they're leaving multiple times a day. And most of these people, I want you to see the maps. So there have been flights, right? There have been enforcement flights, monthly immigration enforcement flights prior to 2025, 2026. But let's just look at the increase from 2025, when it was 534, to January of 2026, where it's at 1,573. What does that mean? That means that they are shipping. I'm looking for, it says they usually don't have time for due process. Like it's just happening in the background. Okay, the beacons. Let me see if I could find this. Here we go. Well, I don't know if this was it, but it says NPR requested the number of people detained and flown out of Minnesota in recent months from the DHS. Instead, DHS responded saying that 3,500 arrests have been made during the operations without offering specifics and did not say where those people were sent. But let's go back up here because I want y'all to hear what this man has seen. There were multiple flights a day on these chartered flights, or on these chartered planes. Let's start from the top. I don't want to say his name, but this gentleman stands tucked out of the cold inside an elevator terminal at Minneapolis St. Paul International, looking out a window at the tarmac. He probably won't be doing that much more. Commercial airplanes dart by, but one chartered flight sits parked away from the gates, a set of stairs pulled up to its open doors. Dressed up in a plaid button-up, the 41-year-old leans into a digital camera on a tripod with his long telephoto lens pointed towards the plane and slowly counts. So far, that's one for today so far. No, so that's one for today so far. And there's number 2 at the top of the steps. So he sees 2 on that day. But there used to be, he was saying there were multiple. Vincent is counting people as they hobble out of a minibus, up the steps, and onto the plane. These immigration detainees, their hands and feet shackled, are being flown out of Minnesota. I'm not saying his name. The administration's, anyway. I'm trying to get to the part where it says they don't go through any type of due process. It's just happening in the background. Here you could be sitting in the Delta Lounge eating your cheese and crackers, and you wouldn't have even noticed that there was anything unusual going on out the window. In recent months, he started tracking these ICE flights in and out of Minneapolis, counting the people loaded on as they are forced to leave the state. And there's no quantitative data that they're sharing. Um, the lack of transparency is one of the reasons Benson, along with others, has started keeping detailed spreadsheets of every flight he can. There were 42 flights out of Minnesota in January alone. 42 flights. There are 31 days in the month. 42 flights. And then this was another grid where it's a chart where he shows where the surge started happening, on the dates that it started happening, and it looks like it kind of slowed down in the beginning of February, I guess, with everything going on. He estimates, here we go, that 2,339 people were flown out of Minnesota like this in January, when flights began happening daily, sometimes twice a day. And no record of where these people are going or who they are. This is absolutely, take your time, if you want. This is on npr.org, and read more about this. But this is what should be. Who knew about, like, if you're not reading, if you're not trying to educate yourself, I know I'm not seeing that across my timeline. Or if I turn on the news or the TV, I'm not hearing about this or seeing this. We're still talking about the craziness that happened in Minnesota, but we're not talking about every day what is currently still happening. This is absolutely crazy. And then I do want to add, and I think I talked about it. I might have talked about it on my travel channels. I can't remember, but the protective status for the Haitian immigrants that was supposed to end on Tuesday of last week is on pause. I'm not optimistic at all that it will stay on pause. There is a story of an unaliving of 4 women who were sent from Puerto Rico to Haiti, and all 4 of them were found unalived in a gruesome way. A lot of these people, and again, I'm from a city where we have a large Haitian community. I know a lot of Haitian immigrants, or at least first generation Americans. Their parents immigrated here legally, but it's not like just getting. I can't talk about that right now. Like, I got to keep my energy high to get through the rest of these stories. But the good news is that they are not supposed to be sweeping people up right now, even though I heard they still are. I heard, not as much here in New York, but I heard in Minnesota, Ohio, and someplace else, they are picking up legal temporary protected status Haitian immigrants and detaining them. And so I do believe, oh, wait a minute, I saw somebody. I do believe that there will, if it makes it to the Supreme Court, we all know what's going to happen. And the interesting thing is, and I keep telling people this, and this is why I'm so passionate about, trying to come on. And like I said, if one person hears me and takes some action some way, somehow, thank God. But think about it. You think about the people they want to get rid of. And Black Americans are, I won't say all of us, but some of us are just so naive to think that we won't get caught up in that. You think these people could tell the difference between a Haitian, a Dominican, a Colombian, a Black American, an African? No, nor do they want to try to. And so again, the goal is just, do as much as you can to stay ready, keep your family safe. Okay, next on the list, because we still haven't gotten to the Obama. So we're almost there. We're almost there. The other thing I want to talk about is, hold on. Y'all be careful out here because in addition to the measles running rampant in certain states, the US will probably lose its measles elimination status, y'all. A status that has been held for decades. And thanks to all the changes in DC, that will probably go away. Meanwhile, the South Carolina measles outbreak is now bigger than the one that happened last year in Texas. It's also in North Carolina in a major way. Not only does this affect the people who get the measles, it's affecting the healthcare system. It's affecting the nurses. It's affecting the doctors. It's affecting the entire healthcare system in these states, which means that if, God forbid, you need emergency care, some of these places may be shut down, quarantined, whatever. And we just need to know that it's not going to be contained. These things are not going to be contained in Texas, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So the risk is always in not knowing. If you know, you can prepare. That's why we say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So yeah, so while, this is happening, you got, what's his name, Oz wanting to add a year or 10 to our work life instead of, protecting our measles elimination status. So, okay, we're almost at I told you I had more things to talk about, but let's go ahead and get into Michelle and Barack, our forever first family. So yeah, so if you haven't heard, I would never repost that thing. I would never ever repost that thing, but I will say that they know what they're doing. It's psychological, it's psyops. It's so interesting to me that these corporate news stations could keep showing that image and putting that image up in such a disrespectful way and talking about it instead of ignoring it. And when I say ignoring it, I mean the image in particular, because they know that image is going to incite something. It's going to have us react emotionally, right? Now, of course, even the thought about it can bring out some type of negativity, right? But when you keep seeing that image over and over and over again, the best thing to do, and which, what I did on my private social media platforms as well as my public ones, I posted beautiful pictures of this family. Let me see if I could pull one up. Can I get on? Oh, shoot. I forgot I'm on. Oh, you know what? I might be able to pull it up this way. Let's see. I'm not sure. I might have got rid of it. But yeah, it's time for us to show exactly just I think things like that messes with him more than us getting mad. So what I'm trying to say is when you see things like that happen and you feel a certain emotion, see how you can vibrate higher. See how you can lift that emotion to a higher level. And usually it's positivity, right? And That's what we need to do. And the fact that, he could never be able to stand in, the Obama's shoes from any measure. Will eat him alive. Will totally eat him alive. And I'm trying to see if I can. Oh, let me see. I can't even log onto my social media on this channel. Oh, I might be able to do it here. Let's see. But yeah, so I mean, feel free if you missed. I don't even want to direct people to. Okay, let me see. I might be able to pick it up. I might not. Nope. But anyway, on my Black Travel and Culture channels, I did a tribute, and that thing is going crazy. Oh my gosh. I wish I had my phone. I left my phone. But yeah, 500,000 views already. People just so loving. And I've seen other people do it, just posting the most amazing photos or video recaps of the first family with class, with grace, with dignity, that daughters looked at their parents with admiration or adoration, whichever one. A couple that look like they still sleep in the same bed and enjoy it. This is absolutely crazy to me that uh-oh. Uh-oh, I might be able to play it, y'all. No, I can't. Never mind. But yeah, so I will figure out a way to. I might post it. If I didn't post it, did I post it on YouTube? I can't remember. But yeah, I again wanted to acknowledge what is happening because it was such a big news story. Oh, and y'all are in here just commenting. Let's see. You're late, but they definitely want to get rid of you, Black and poor. I don't think it's just you, Piper. Wait, let me see something. Hi, Kim. So glad to see this live stream going on. I highly enjoyed your HPTC trade. HPTO, high probability trading only trading course. Thanks for keeping us informed about the news that matters most to us. Of course, of course. I get joy of keeping or being part of community. Oh, you're welcome, the Vitality Journal. And then oh yeah, yeah, no, and they are, well, the news isn't, but they are looking to make some real changes with Cuba. And I don't know. Oh my goodness, here's another quick news story, and then we'll start to wrap it up. But they are making St. Lucia prevent their citizens from being trained in Cuba's medical um, facilities, medical, colleges, med schools. That's what I'm trying to say. For those of you who don't know, Cuba has one of the best med school curriculums and graduates some amazing doctors. People from the US were going to Cuba to get their degrees and, coming back here. Very talented doctors that have graduated from Cuba. Well, now St. Lucia, if they want to be able to get any type of visa, citizen, visa entries and stuff like that, they're actually meeting this week coming up. Well, today's Saturday, next week, a lot of the Caribbean islands, the countries, because there are a lot of demands that the US is making, in addition to them having to accept deportees from other countries and maybe even the US. They are now being forced to prevent their citizens from getting a higher education, a medical education, which is affordable, right? More affordable than coming here or anything. It's a big scheme. We're going to connect the dots on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to do a connect the dots. And yes, thank you for joining us, Tim, in high probability trading only. You were a star student, and we appreciated having you. But yes, so Wednesday, excuse me, I said Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to do a connect the dots, and it's going to include, even from a financial standpoint, there's a reason why they're estimating Black wealth to be zero by 2050, whatever the year is. There's a reason. There's a reason why they are making all of these changes to everything from like Job Corps. We're going to just connect the dots on Wednesday. It's a lot of dots to be connected, and sometimes, you know, I don't see what other people see, and other people may not see what I see, but when we all come together and we put it all together, it makes sense. And so I want us to come together and have it make sense. What, they kidnapped 2 people from Scotland and yeah. Certain words I can't say on here, but yeah. They definitely, oh, I already got that. Did I catch everybody? So yeah, so again, vibrate really high when it comes to, I understand. So of course, I'm one of those people that used to be, you go low. Yeah, we definitely go into HE double hockey sticks. That was Kim, the 20-something-year-old Kim, had no time to think about high vibrations. It was what? But I totally understand what she means. And the other thing is, there's things about her family. So, all these idiots talking about, oh, she was a man, whatever. I personally know her family, who's connected to some of my family, where they say there may be some, we're all related, right? But if you are from a certain part of South Carolina, there's a good chance that you could be related, right? And so her family on her father's side, I believe it is from Georgetown, South Carolina. People knew this girl when she was born. How about that? And then you got these idiots coming out talking about, oh, she was a man. That's why she didn't have babies and this and that. I'm like, y'all are such idiots. But saying all that to say, when you're born in certain places that have a connection to ancestors, to spirit, to our history, to what and where we came from, vibrate high doesn't always mean just turn your back. If you know, you know. If vibrate high can mean, yeah, I could show you better than I could tell you. I don't need to let the world know, but I can show you better than I could tell you. Child, listen, I don't wish, let me not. The marks on the hands, we don't know why those are there. We don't know where those came from, right? And again, I'm just saying that to say, Michelle saying, people are like, no, you shouldn't just take anything. Michelle is not talking about just taking anything. If we knew our strength and our power, that's another thing we're going to talk about more in our RAIN Society. And I already started telling people, and this ain't for everybody, and we get it, but we're going to have someone who is an expert in tapping into your chi, your energy, your true spirit, right? Not just relying on the Bible and God, but being able to use the tools that he gave us that have been suppressed from us. And so again, this is going to be a year where all of that is going to be so necessary, so mandatory. So what you see on the screen right now is the link to our free webinar. My free webinar, where I'm going to walk everybody through all of the components of the RAIN Society, because and what we have to okay, take care. Bye. Thank you for stopping by, Tim. Oh, and everything, you should be good. You should be good. I took care of everything today. I didn't email you yet, but you should be good. Um, but yeah, you can join the free webinar on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm literally going to walk you through all of everything that's available. And even from, I have a private community that was just launched for our travel community, which will, um, how can I say this in a summarized? It's basically a place to keep the trolls out, right? But for people who are interested in learning more about either for everything from supporting Black owned businesses when you're abroad. So we're going to, have all the resources available. We're going to have weekly Q&A, or is it bi-weekly Q&As, live Q&As. We're going to have experts come in, talk about travel, all the things. And so I'll walk you through that as well. I'll talk more about that on another live. But today was really just about, making sure that we are not getting caught up in the distractions, the propaganda. And if you knew anything about what the news really is, and as somebody who graduated with a whole communications degree, it makes sense. Everything that's going on right now makes sense. Look over here. Y'all pay attention over here, because y'all want to know what's going on with R. Kelly. Y'all want to know what's going on with Diddy. Y'all want to know what's going on. What was the other thing I just called out with oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, the files. Y'all want to know what's going on with everything except what we should be paying attention to, how we should be preparing. They know how to keep us distracted. They are grouping us in with the same idiots that are part of their own community that they have no respect for, because they don't look at them as educated. You saw what that man, or you may have heard what was in the files about Black people. That's what they think. Like, this is not a game, y'all. And what I know for certain, one thing for certain, two things for sure, everybody ain't gonna make it. Everybody's not gonna listen. Everybody's not going to be prepared. Is when I say ain't gonna make it, you're not gonna be prepared. But if there's a handful of people that hear my voice and are prepared, and I know there's already been a handful of people that I could look at and say, oh, they good, they're going to be good. So that's why I keep coming back. So again, I really just want us to be prepared, to be in community, to exhaust all options. I also want to talk about, like, I did a video today on Black travel and culture, because I keep hearing people talk about how racist certain places are. And we shouldn't go and visit. So, case in point, example, you hear a lot. Black people shouldn't go to Italy. Black women should never go to Italy. Italy is a whole country. Italy is a whole country with almost 8,000 cities. That's like saying you shouldn't go to the US. It's super racist there. You have New York City and you have sundown towns in the US. They are not the same. And it's the same with Italy. And my thing is this, I have had really good experiences in Italy. And I keep in touch with certain people today that I met in Florence 20 years ago. Milan is one of the most beautiful, culturally diverse places. Now, I'm not saying, like I say, everybody's not perfect, but never once did I feel away in certain places. And so I want to encourage people to stop listening to all of the negatives, right? So yes, Italy, you say, no, Black women should never go to Italy. Italians are racist. That's going to get all the news. That's going to get all the airplay. I am committed to showing you people specifically that I know that travel to Milan multiple times a year, have amazing friends in Milan, know a great network of diverse people, not just Black people, and are thriving. And if anything was to pop off here, they would love and probably would end up in Italy. And it's not just Milan, but again, I think we do ourselves such a disservice. And I've been guilty of it. Like, I'll just say something about, um, let me think of a country real quick. I may say something, oh, Mexico, right? There are people that would be like, oh, you'll get kidnapped in Mexico. Mexico is do y'all know how big Mexico is? I forgot how many states, Jalisco's. Mexico is so big that when you try to classify it as one thing, you when I say you, I really mean us, me, sound idiotic, right? And so I want us to do a better job when we're communicating about places to really be specific about experiences. There, of course, if you go to a um, certain small towns in Italy and they never saw a Black person before, yeah, there may be some things that you may experience. There may be a lot of stares, mistrust, all of that. But that's not all of Italy. And so it's one of my favorite places to visit. I've been multiple times. I've been, um, oh my goodness, Rome, Florence, the Tuscany region, stayed in a place called Magicani. Oh my gosh, treated like royalty. We were the only Black people there. Capri, the Amalfi Coast. Did I say Milan? I forgot. Multiple cities in Italy, but I stayed away from certain ones that I knew firsthand experience may not be where I would want to be. And so, again, I just want us to do more research, get in communities that's going to help you do that research, and continue to stay ready so we don't have to get ready, because this is warp speed, but it's going to get warpeder. It's going to be warp to speed, y'all. It's going to be warp to speed. And we just need to be ready to be nimble, flexible, and be in community and help each other out along the way. And so, again, I didn't want to, come here and do a whole nother soapbox, but I definitely wanted to, do what I do and try to, like I said, I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and the thing or twos that I know, I don't keep, to myself. And so if it comes to, money, how to get it, one of our students from High Probability Trading Only, who found me on this, I believe he found me. Yeah, he found me because I remember the day he said he asked questions about when we were launching the trading community. We want to see us be prepared. So that means, let's just say, if you need to move, you need to leave. Let's learn some skills where you can generate income when you leave. And it doesn't all have to be on social media. So, Bad Bunny was planned in demonic codes. His songs, when you watch it, you will see symbolism. One of his songs talks about blackouts that are coming. So I would like to, I'll say this. Who was that? Latanya Robinson. Okay. Hey, Latanya, you got to re-up on your bitters. It's time, girl. Go ahead. You definitely have to. Today is the last day of my detox. Oh my God. Well, I won't say the last day. No, yesterday was the last day. I already had, what did I have today? I only had hummus. I had a smoothie. I had celery, but I got some smart popcorn, which is not part of the detox, but I got some and had some of that today. So I will be able to, I can't go leave to get my hair done because it's ridiculously cold, but I am going to be able to take this hat off by next week. And, I'm not going to go crazy with the toxins, but I'm definitely going to, have to deal with a couple toxins next week. But saying all that to say, Latanya, when it comes to what we've learned to be demonic, right? And what is actually not demonic, there's a whole, how can I say it? There's a gap. There's a gap. And you know what? I don't like to really go deep on this platform because I don't got time. I ain't arguing with nobody. Y'all believe what y'all want to believe. I know what I know. I, know what I seen. And I will just say everything is not always what it seems. Now, I'm not saying that there may not be some things happening, but they used to say that about Prince, right? I will say this. If it doesn't sit right in your spirit, turn the TV off, turn the music off. Your spirit will let you know. Listen, it's up to us to listen or not. So I will just say, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going to call that man out, but yeah. Anyway, so we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. We will be back on Monday to connect the dots. It will be Monday evening. I will do a post. I believe I just have to check my calendar because I'm in a class, and plus I got to get these taxes done, child. It's almost 2 months before taxes are due, and it will take me another 2 weeks to get all my receipts and everything together. So I am going to be a little busy, but it will be Monday evening. I don't think I have any calls after 8. So it will probably be 8 p.m. Monday evening. And then Wednesday, go ahead and join the free webinar if you're interested in a Rain Society breakdown. What I didn't say is that everything under this umbrella is going to fall under the Rain Society in 2026. And it's up to you where you want to get in, but the whole name of this community from a umbrella, macro perspective is we're going to reign in 2026 and beyond. We are going to reign. As much as they don't want us to, we are going to reign. And so, of course, I want everyone who's interested to become part of the Rain Society, however they can get in. If it's just, whatever it is. So I want to break down exactly all that encompasses and what is coming for 2026. Now that we have graduated, I need to shout out if there are any other graduates here from the high probability trading only course, congratulations to you. If there are any students from the 28-day accountability Slay 2026 challenge, congratulations to you. That will be coming back in March, and we'll talk about that during the webinar. So again, the webinar will take place on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everyone, y'all have a good night. If y'all are, in some place warm and above 20 degrees, I'm jealous because right now, let's see what the temperature is right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh, it's 3 degrees, y'all. It is 3 degrees with the wind chill factor, making it feel like it is minus 16 degrees. Oh my gosh. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in Mexico this time of year, but anyway, y'all pray for me. All right, everyone, have a good night. I will see y'all Monday at 8 p.m., I think, Eastern Standard Time, but I'll post it in the community tab. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye. Oh, I wanted to talk about the movie Forever. Don't watch it. Traumatizing. It's on Netflix. Don't watch it. Bye.